Hello, hi, this is Srinivasan, a fine art photographer, a distance skater, and a small time freelance skater who does cross training with bicycling. Okay, coming to meet you guys with another video. And what we have here is a unpacking to do. Okay, and this is from my favorite e-commerce site, Amazon.in, putting a smile on everybody's face. Okay, thank you Amazon for delivering this package on time. I ordered it yesterday evening, just as I knew that my monthly allowance was credited, and luckily two of the products were told to be delivered for the Prime account immediately, like tomorrow, and which is now, and now you have the packages in your vicinity. Let's go and unpack them. It was a little crumbled, but I straightened it up for the video. We got one and we got two. That's cool. And we'll go the bill. Okay. To the length of a napkin, paper napkin. Okay, what we have in the first one, it says Fin aluminum alloy DU bearing, lightweight bicycle pedals with anti-skid pins for road, mountain, BMX, MTB bike, silver axle. Okay, and it cost me $758.04 with taxes and everything, about 900 or 800 to 900 bucks. Okay, that's the bill. I guess I have told you earlier, this is the carbon paper, meaning as in like you won't need a pen to write on that carbon paper. All you need is some sharp tool or a heat end tool to write it on this paper. This is a carbon paper, son. I mean, probably it's one-sided. I'll show you. Do you see? It's writing. So you'll need the printing head is a heated head, so it gives you that that impression. This is not actually a depth of the sharp tool. Actually, it's writing on this. It's a carbon paper. Okay, let's keep that aside. What do we have? We have a ProMend MTB bicycle pedals, told to be Fin, but the brand reads like ProMend. Okay, PROMEND. We'll see that because like most of the videos on YouTube, are from Indonesia, and Indonesian people love their language, and all the videos were in their mother tongue. It was quite difficult. If not for Google AI Translate, I wouldn't have understood their videos. But anyways, let's unbox this. It has come in a very beautiful package. Kudos to the seller. So here is the price money for you. 1,799 bucks. But I got it for nearly 900 bucks or 1,000 bucks. Okay, so one pair. Let's remove this. Documentations first. We have some sticker. Oh, about DU bearing. Yeah, did I forget to tell you something? Okay, so these are the old pair of pedals which was there on my Revin fixie. Okay, it's from the company called Big Ben, BIG-BEN. Hope you might have seen the unboxing video of my Revin fixie and assembly. I might have given the logo of Big Ben probably. It has the reflectors. This is a composite or a plastic material. Okay, and you have the rotor here, and the axle. So within the gap of the axle, you could see some shiny stuff there. Okay, by means this is having a ball bearing. Okay, there are balls inside which tend to rotate this. Okay, meaning this is, possible for getting dirt, catching up with dirt quicker, and you need some periodic cleaning and lubrication and maintenance. Okay, these are not bad. What I'm trying to say is, like, it's not quite enough for my foot, to transfer the entire power to the bicycle that I'm forwarding to or pedaling to. Okay, so this is a ball bearing pedal. Okay, so what do we have here in the name of flat pedals or mountain bike pedals is a DU bearing pedal. Okay, let's say what they have told about this. DU bearing, about DU bearing, okay, oh, it's from the company Elofin. Okay, so the brand ProMend is of Elofin. Okay, about DU bearing. These pedals come from with a DU sleeve bearing. Okay, DU bearings are sleeve bearings, a hollow cylinder with no balls. No balls as in like no bearing balls. Okay, steel balls or ceramic balls made of high-tech polymer material. They are typically impregnated with Teflon so that they don't need additional lube. They are self-lubricating. They are not inherently sealed, but they tolerate dirt better than ball bearings. So you get the idea, right? Since they don't have ball bearing, they are not as freely rotatable as ball bearing pedals. Initially, you may feel these pedals are quite stiff, but it's normal for DU bearing pedals. Once you start using them, they will gradually become free. Okay, so they're talking about thermal expansion. Okay, I'll tell you what they're talking here. Okay, DU bearings or sleeve bearings, a hollow cylinder with no balls, made of high-tech polymer materials. Okay, we will get there in a short while because it's important for you to take a look at the pedals before that. Okay, so they have a thank you card. Thank you, Elofin. Okay, your order made our day. We hope we make yours with a piece of craft. Cool, thanks, man. Here is their QR code for you to scan. I doubt my Android default application scanner that is there on Xiaomi Poco F1 would scan this. It doesn't scan the Instagram QR code that is given by Instagram. It's also in the dotted fashion. It doesn't scan them. It only scans the traditional methods. Traditional QR code. So, anyways, so this is the yellow Fin's website. If you want to register for the warranty and all that, their WhatsApp number for contact, all that, please pause the screen for a few seconds to read all the information if that is needed. And I doubt this QR code will work for you. Okay, as the flash from my mobile phone, which is spoiling this shiny surface, I'll keep that aside. We don't need that. So to take a look at what is DU bearing, you need to take a look at the pedals first. Let's do that. Okay, I'm going to unbox it here. Okay, this comes with cushions. So this is how the pedal looks like. Let's have some better background separation. This is black and all those things are black, and it will be difficult for you to proper look of the product, have a proper look of the product. This is ProMend flat pedals. This is still smaller for my feet, let me tell you straight up. I thought like it's going to be much wider, but since these things have pins like this or studs like this to grip more with your shoes. I showed you my shoe unboxing, right? My shoes have mediumly soft sole, so outer sole, so I think probably it would grip well with this mountain bike pedals. These are aluminum. Okay, so inside this is the DU bearing setup. Okay, so hope you understand how this is going to work. This is a little bit stiff, just as said in the mm, uh, what is that, in the manual of LFN. Okay, and this is how it looks. Okay, and for the size comparison, could see how thick it is, but this is plastic, and how flat and thin this is when compared to this ball bearing pedals to DU bearing pedals. Okay, so that's the comparison over here. So to take a look at the complete anatomy of the flat pedals itself, okay, so we have some sort of concave here, just to accommodate the shape of the foot when you place it on the pedal. So this is going to grip well with your pedal. Okay, next thing is they have these grooves. These are going to provide much more better grip for your pedals when shoes, and they're going to sit on these pedals. Okay, grooves or teeth you can call these studs. These are actually molded with the aluminum. These are not unscrewable or threaded studs or pins like any other aluminum mountain bike pedals available in the market, but these are actually molded into the pedal. So one advantage is like you won't lose them. Other advantages like it's going to grip the way it has been molded. So these are not sharp or it doesn't have any threads in them. So these are going to work well. And why I think this is going to work well, even though it's permanent mold rather than the threaded ones, is like I'm going to use it on a road bike kind of single speed bicycle, which has a fixed gear and a single speed gear, which I'm using it with single speed in the road bike format. It's a fixie, but in shaped or modified for road bike utility. So with those kind of thin tires and with those kind of use case scenarios, as in like I ride for 25 kilometers or 18 kilometers in a regular basis, as my cross training, for these purpose, these studs would do just fine, and these are strong enough and pretty good for my use. That's what I think. Okay, so this is how this pedal looks like. Okay, for your viewers. Okay, and I haven't completed the complete anatomy, I forgot. Okay, so this is the axle. This is the axle which runs inside, and this has the complete assembly of the DU bearings. So you see here some sort of stud that is covering from the chrome to the black material, right? That's probably the Teflon they are talking about. And here is the end cap. You pop this cap, you can actually remove this. And this probably takes 6 mm Allen keys probably. Let me check here. I have got the 6 mm key here, Allen keys here on my new bike tool, which is like the Swiss Army tool. Let's go see it. Yep, it takes 6 mm bike key tool, so I could able to spin it. So this can also be used for tightening it. In other terms, I've got the Goodyear spanners with me. When I removed the ball bearing pedals, from my bicycle, I happen to use this number, which is 1415, and I employed 15 or 14 for this. Let me check. I employed 15 for tightening and unlocking and locking it, or tightening and loosening it from my pedals or the crank arm of my bicycle. Okay, so I hope it takes similar open end wrench for, yep, it takes 15. It takes 15 number of open end wrench for tightening and loosening it into the crank arm of your bicycle. Okay, so that is a mild comparison and simple thing. And coming to the anatomy back, this is the axle, wherein you have the Teflon bearings on this end and this end. If you pop this cap, you will see the another part of your Teflon bearing, and the axle is a tapered cone. inside. Okay, and this is the complete pedal body, and it has a concave shape, and these are the studs and pins, and these are the axle and axle thread to tighten it to your crank arm. Okay, so these are very primitive way of explaining the anatomy of your flat pedal. Okay, now I'll try to give a proper, or in my own terms of explanation for what I understood of from the manual of Yellowfin, talking about the DU bearing things. Okay, this is the another bearing. Okay, this also moves and rotates. It's not as free as they told it to be. I can understand. I can totally understand why it is so, but it will get free due to the thermal expansion. So they have mentioned here which one is left and PDR21, and they have mentioned here which one is right. Okay, PDR21. Okay, right, which is also embossed into the metal and also printed. Do you see that? Okay, for the left, it's only printed here. On the other side, yeah, you will find it on the other side. It also embossed into the metal and also printed. Okay, so they have those. Okay, let me try and sorry, I hit the camera, and explain it to you guys with a little understanding of mine of how things are inside that DU bearing. Okay, let me lower the camera here. Okay, what is the first statement? DU bearings are sleeve bearings, a hollow cylinder with no balls made of high-tech polymer materials. They are typically impregnated with Teflon so that they don't need additional lube or sealed, but they tolerate the dirt better than they. What is that? They are typically impregnated with Teflon so that they don't need additional lube. They are self-lubricating. They are not inherently sealed, but they tolerate dirt better than ball bearings. Okay. Forgive me, I'm sweating like a pig right now. So when you take a look at this pedal, can you see? Is it dark enough or not? This pencil, I'll get another one. Can you see this? Okay, these are old printed papers actually. I do only test prints on my printer. I haven't even checked the ink for more than 8 months now. I have to check reprint sometimes, and I might have to change the ink sometimes. So this is a flat pedal, and we have the center axle here. Okay, and they are saying this. Okay, so when you take a look at the axle, what they are saying is like there is no ball bearings inside. Okay, when we saw our ball bearing pedal, we saw the ball bearings on the ends. Okay, so when you're talking about the sleeves, they are talking about there are DU bearing sleeves at these two ends. That's what they're saying. Okay, so when you take a look at this axle closer, it will be like a stepper cone. Okay, stepper cone with outside hexagonal face with threads to pedal inside the crank arm. Okay, so what they are saying is like they have the DU bearing sleeves at this end and at this end. Okay, I have seen some videos, unboxing videos of or disassembly video of the exact product of ProMend. Okay, so this is how the sleeves of the Teflon looks like. Okay, the Teflon sleeves are like this with the end cap like this, and it is cylindrical like this. Okay, it's hollow in the center, and it's cylindrical like this. Okay, this is what is going on the this end where you screw the pedal to the crank arm. Okay, So that is this Teflon shape is going on to this end. What I'm talking here is this Teflon that is there on this piece, it will look like this. Okay. And the other Teflon, which is when you pop this cap and when you look it inside, the other side of that Teflon would look like this, as in like a cylindrical assembly with some grooves like this. Okay, it goes for the entire cylindrical shape, if you can understand. So that is placed on this end. Remember, I told you that this axle is a tapered cone. So in order to fit the cylindrical shape, which is even on both ends, they are employing one sleeve to be more thin like this and another sleeve to be thick like this on the other end, so that it balances the diameter of the cylinder and sits in proper place. Okay, so this is how the assembly would look like inside this flat pedal. Okay, so this is this axle would be a tapered axle with these type of sleeves at both ends. This will be on this end and this will be on this end. Okay, so, and it will be filled with some lubrications, my little lubrication like any grease or something, and they are saying like this is not inherently sealed. So by meaning like it's not sealed, completely sealed, properly sealed, as in you'll find it in a sealed ball bearings. Okay, the open end is open, it's open for dirt to come in, but it is, since the cap has this kind of flat ends on the screwing end, it will prevent bigger dirt from going inside. These are mountain bike pedals, so these are intended for riding in dirt, mud, and moisturous weather, and riding in most wet roads and all that. It is intended to ride or survive that kind of beating, to ride on a mountain, on a forest area, something like that, with bigger wheels. Okay, I'm just using it for my road bike kind of fixie setup, thinking that it will be more useful for me in my use case scenario. Okay, and to the point, like they also designed this with without ball bearings, which is like, as in, you saw it, right? This rotates so freely, unlike this one. I won't be able to do it much as free as the ball bearings. It's only because these flat pedals, when you observe the mountain bike riders, they would go downhill from the mountain, top of the mountain to the bottom of the mountain. They have very less situations to pedal and move forward. They are moving on a downhill, so they will be stationary. So this pedal is mostly designed only to take the shocks from coming from the mountain biking ride, like wherein like they will be jumping various hurdles, a rock, big rocks in the mountains when they are going downhill. You might have seen the trail riding videos from various riders on the YouTube channels, like mountain bike riders. They will do all the stunts and everything. This is designed like, as in, it will be stable for most of the time. It's not being used and pedaled all the time. For their use case scenario, it's going to be stationary. It's going designed to withstand a lot of load. And why I chose this is also because of that, because I'm a big size rider, I'm a heavy rider, and I need something stronger one, and also something which is of low maintenance. So that's why I chose this, and this is how it looks. This is how the Teflon looks inside. So the Teflon bearing that they are talking about is, one of them on this end looks like this, the other one looks like this on this one. This one is thicker with smaller diameter of hollow hole inside. This one is bigger hole going here. Okay, since the axle is a tapered axle. Forgive me, those are my sweat prints. Okay, so keeping that aside, let's talk about Teflon a bit. Okay, so Teflon is just the brand name. Teflon is just the brand name. Teflon is not the chemical compound. Teflon is called PTFE. What is PTFE? PT is polytetrafluoroethylene. Okay, that is what PTFE stands for. That is the chemical compound, which is FCH. It's not plus, it's just the hyphen. FCH. And it's connected like this. And again, that's my own thing. Okay. And according to ChatGPT, DU bearing means, as in like DU is durate universal. Durée universal is French word. Okay. Durée means durable. Okay. Or durability or strong or hard substance, something like that. Okay. DU bearing stands for that. And ChatGPT also says that DU could be two things. One is, Delrin. Okay. Second is, it could be Igus. Again, these both are names of the brand. Okay. So Delrin and Igus are not Teflon. Okay. Delrin and Igus are not Teflon. But they are called POMH. POMH means polyoxylene methylene homopolymer. Okay. So these are very, like as they said, self-lubricating polymer. Okay. These are self-lubricating polymer, but it's not Teflon. According to ChatGPT, DU also means Delrin or Igus, wherein Delrin and Igus are POMH, which is polyoxylene methylene homopolymer. Okay, these are as tough. It has all the properties of Teflon. Okay, so that's what ChatGPT says about this. And why am I talking about this is, when you talk about Teflon, since they have mentioned in the manual, it was accidentally invented by Dr. Ray. Okay. And Dr. Ray invented this in 1938 when he was working for the company called DuPont. DuPont. I probably guess DU came from that. I'm not sure. But if you recollect what is DuPont company, I have interviewed one genius who is the owner and maker of Hamburgs, Mr. Don Sandusky. He has a PhD as well. So he said in the interview that he worked for the company DuPont. It's the same company. And Dr. Ray invented the Teflon accidentally in 1938. Since then, they have been trying to use this on various applications, and this DU bearing or Delrin, Igus, or this Teflon have been extensively used in the automotive industry. You could understand like there is a option for coating Teflon on under your cars, or there are moving parts inside the cars or motorcycles made out of Teflon and all that, So that's the little figurative thing behind the, Teflon thing that is being employed. Why am I talking about this is like when something is employed on cars and stuff, automotive like that, it can also be implemented in bicycle, like it's not that kind of a big deal. It doesn't have such vibrations coming from cars and motorcycles into the bicycles when you imagine, But with mountain bike, yes, you can expect a little bit of that. But this little, piece of plastic that you find, Teflon or Delrin or Igus, whatever that is, POMH or PTFE, whatever that is, it's so hard that it's going to withstand all those pedaling, all those vibrations coming from the bicycle. It's going to withstand all the dirt and everything. You don't have to lubricate or oil or clean it more often like the ball bearings. Okay, so these are pretty durable. That's what I'm trying to say here. So these are just small piece of plastic cylinders that is on the both ends of your mountain bike pedals. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. This is pretty durable substance. Okay, so enough of talking and lecturing. As they say, these are pretty durable. Let's go ahead and mount this on my bicycle. Okay, this is K signing off. Peace. Okay, I forgot to weigh these things. The reading is like slightly tampered as in like between -5 and +5. Okay, so let's check the weight of one pedal. One pedal is about 133 grams, plus or minus 5. Let's keep that aside. And this one is like 138. Oh, okay. Let's do that again. 137. Let's do that again. Yeah, 137. Probably my weighing machine wasn't ready back then. So both of them weigh 138 or 137. Okay. What is the weight of both of them? It's around 275 grams. Okay. When you weigh both of them, it's 275 grams. Okay. So that's the added weight to my bicycle. I haven't weighed my bicycle after doing all the alterations. Let's check the weight of the ball bearing pedal. It's 173. Okay, that's like 50 grams more than my pedal. Yep, same. 175 here. Not 50, 40 grams more than my, my mountain bike pedals weight. So this one is like 348 in total. So we are saving about 60 grams in weight by using the mountain bike pedals. Okay. So, yeah. And these mountain bike pedals, these are made of metal, but these are also coming in composite. Composite as in like the plastic, high grade polymer or carbon fiber and all that, These entire body would be made out of carbon fiber or composite or any other form of hard plastic. They are also good, and those plastic materials also have the threaded studs, as in like you can remove or change the size of threads, or like you can when you lose one you could add or change. This one is like permanent, but you get a plastic ones also. Those are much cheaper, and you also get the combination of aluminum and carbon fiber mountain bike pedals, as in the center part of the axle from the same brand. Elephant has a carbon fiber thing, which is like 100 rupees more than this, like 1,000 rupees or something, that has that design. So I went for the all metal design. You can also choose between those things. Like this one has partly metal and partly hard composite plastic, so could also choose between those things. So it weighs 275 grams, and it's pretty light than the ball bearing pedals. Peace. This is K signing off. Thank you. Okay, what you're looking here is my pedal, left and right. Now that is right, and this is left. Okay, so I removed the ball bearing pedal and stuffed some tissue inside to prevent dust from entering that spot, and also partially in the notion of cleaning the vent before the assembly of next pedals. Okay, so this is the left side, and the other one stuffed with the tissue is the right side. So left side it is. Hope you didn't see the little bit portion of my leg. Forgive me if you happen to see it. I just went to grab some grease. It's the grease that I use, universal joint grease. It's a wax based grease. Okay, I'm gonna apply that around to my pedals as well as the crank arm. This is my left side crank arm and that is my right side crank arm. Forgive me if I had mentioned that to be my pedal. This is the pedal and that is the crank arm. I sometimes kind of mess the names. Forgive me. Just going to apply some grease inside. Okay. Let's do that again. And let's apply to my pedal. It's just that it's a chrome finish. Just want to make sure like safe. So it's done. Let me go ahead and start tightening. I forgot actually which way it would take the pedals in, clockwise or anti-clockwise. Let me check that. Yeah, it goes in on anti-clockwise direction. So just initially hand tight this. Okay, sorry. Kind of moved the position from the camera angle. So that's why I got to give a full rotation before using it. So you give the hand tight and you can either use this spanner by holding it this way and number 15 to tighten it, further. Which way is tightening? That I will figure this out. Yeah. To your left is the tightening. So I've tightened that. Okay. It's that easy. What you actually need is about 35 pounds of torque to tighten these pedals. Okay. So if you have a torque wrench, use number 35 in that to tighten this pedal to the crank arm. Okay, and I'm just tightening it with my open end wrench and by feel, by feel of 35 pounds. I'm not tightening it way too much. Okay, so it'll actually tighten itself when I start pedaling and all that. Okay? That was done for the left hand side. Let me go change my bicycle to the opposite direction to face the camera, and then let's go fix the right hand side pedal to the right hand side crank arm. Okay, this is K signing off. Peace. Okay, now you're probably looking at the right side of the crank. You just saw I removed the tissue right in front of your eyes, just giving it a good wipe to remove the grease. The weight is coming to play now, as in like the weight on the left hand side pedal is lifting this up if I leave it. So we have to be holding it in the proper direction for applying grease or to work with it. Okay, so I think I applied some good amount of grease to the crank arm, releasing it. Now applying the grease to the right hand side pedal. How do I know? It's there. Says R. Do you see? Says R. Okay. So now applying the good amount of grease to the right hand side pedal. It's all chrome, right? So just give a good thing. No worries, you could always clean it with WD-40 later. I have a multi-use WD-40 spray, but anyways, so got to find the thread to spin it. I again forgot like which direction it goes inside, clockwise, anti-clockwise. That I'll have to find it. Better if I could do right in front of the camera before my audience. So it goes clockwise, goes inside clockwise, and the tightening is going to happen on anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so for now I was able to hand tight this to the complete thread easily. So just using the open end spanner, and I'll be feeling the 35 pound of torque just by hand and tightening this. Okay. Oh, I'm actually loosening this on anti-clockwise direction. So for the right hand side pedal, you've got to tighten it on the clockwise direction. And for the left hand side pedal, you are tightening it on the anti-clockwise direction. Remember that. It confuses me because the bottom bracket, it works in the completely opposite direction, because onto the right hand side of the bottom bracket you turn left, and onto the left hand side of bottom bracket you turn right. That's what I think, but let's not go ahead of ourselves. I'm still amateur in terms of bicycle terms. Whatever I spoke is like I learned it before, the day before doing this video. Okay, so you got to turn it right, the clockwise direction, and apply 35 pounds of torque. Don't show your masculinity here. These are meant to be lighter grade vehicles. So these aluminum are lighter as well. So when you show masculinity and try to tighten it too much, you might either spoil the thread or break one or two threads, or even damage the crank arm. So don't show your extreme strength and everything. Just do what is required for the job to be get done. Okay, so you see the left hand side pedal, we just finished there, and I just did my right hand side pedal. That is left and this is right. So we'll take the bicycle outside and we'll have a look at the entire bicycle. Okay, I'll probably expand this little bit of tissue that I have here, wipe it on the other side, the grease, and wait, to do it in front of the camera, doing it for the right hand side wheels as well. Okay, so if you want to tighten it with an hex key or an Allen key, do it from the other side. Okay, even for this one, you do it from the other side. Okay, I use the open end wrench because it was easy for me for the camera angle as well. So that's why. Okay, I'm sitting on the floor and doing it. I don't have the bicycle mount to hold the bicycle, so forgive me. Okay, thank you. This is K signing off. Peace. My new pedals. Bye. Okay, post video sessions. I might have to test it. Test the new pedals when I'm going for a ride. Whenever that happens, Oh, this fits inside. Probably I would find a place to keep the foams and place my old pedals in this cover. These are pretty nice cover, I like it. From Fin. Wonderful cover. Thoughtful process. to contain the pedal in a very compact package. Cool. So my old Big Ben pedals are in this box now. Might have to find a place for these 3 later. All good. Peace. I'll test it when I go for my regular training sessions, cross training sessions. Peace. This is K signing off. Bye.